are all volunteers, and we cover from Stranraer area in the west almost all the way in the east. We can be called out any time, day or night, and it just really depends on who's free. Sometimes we can get 15 people out, sometimes it might only be 3 or 4. It just depends. Now, we only get called out when the police ask us to. So the police in Scotland are responsible for search and rescue on land, and they will call us in if they think we require our help. We also help the Scottish Ambulance Service as well. They might be called out to this incident first, and then they realise they need our help to get the person off of rough ground. And what often happens is, when somebody hurts himself or they're lost, they phone 999, and then that call goes to the police and they decide whether to call us out. As the time's changed a lot, technology-wise, we have got a thing where if the person's got their phone, we can actually find where they are on a map, which saves us an awful lot of time trying to look for somebody. We've also got drones as well we can put up if we've got to cover a wide area. But fortunately, this young man, Tom, has got a good reception. He's phoned 999. The police have decided he's in a remote area about 2 miles from a road. So you need to use your imagination, please. There's a big hillside. It's very, very rough. Our hills are fantastic to walk, but they don't have a lot of footpaths on them. It's very easy to turn over on your leg. Now what Tom's happened to him is his foot's gone down a rough hole, he's kept going, and he thinks his leg is broken. Okay? And he's called for help. Now it might take us an hour to get there. So what we do is we decide what's the closest place to get into, and we're going to pretend our team vehicle has reached that, and we send what we call a hasty team in, which is usually 2 or 3 folk, and they go in to do the initial assessment. And then they ask for other equipment to come up, because the stuff we carry can be quite heavy, so we don't want to do a long, slow walk in. We want folk in quickly, start the care of the casualty, see how bad things are, and then we take it from there. So that's what we're going to do just now. So I'm just going to give the guys a wee wave, and 2 of our hasty team will come in and assess Tom, and I'll talk you through what they're doing. Right guys, so if you've done any training at all, there's a thing called Dr. ABC. So D stands for danger, so as the guys are approaching, they're just assessing the area for any risks, because we don't want them getting hurt as well.
Hello, Mountain Rescue, can you hear
Okay.
me? I can hear you, yeah.
And that's then checking for response. Tom is alert, which means his airway's open, and he's breathing. So we've got Ross at the front there, and Ross is going to check Tom's status. There's things we can get from him, like breathing rate, his pulse rate, and also his oxygen saturation levels as well. Because we don't know what's wrong with him yet, so they're trying to work that out. So that's Ross checking Tom's breathing. He's checking for symmetrical movement on the ribs. Because although Tom is conscious, we don't know if he's been unconscious. He could have a really sore wound somewhere that is masking a more serious wound. So the primary survey is to check anything that's life-threatening at all. So that's what they're doing just now. And I think Ross is taking Tom's breathing rate. Anything above 20 is not normal. Anything above 30 is life-threatening. Okay, we're getting a breathing rate of 26, so that is concerning. And you'll see that on Tom's hand, if you can't see it. We're taking his oxygen saturation, which is 94%. It should be 95 or higher. If I was to stick it in your hand just now, it would be probably 96 and higher. So that's clues there's something happening, and it's usually lower oxygen is either chest injury, but it's more likely to do with blood loss. It's a clue there's less oxygenated blood travelling round Tom's body. So that's Ross putting the oxygen on. Because you fix things as you find them. You don't move on from breathing until you've done something about it. Now, Tom's complaining of having a sore leg, but we're ignoring that just now, because if we don't fix his breathing, there's no point going to his leg, right? Or the other way around, I suppose. No point doing something with his leg if he's not breathing. Okay? And this is Ross now checking his circulation. What's the blood flow? And this is quite a nice wee thing to do. You can see what Ross is doing, but he's exposing Tom's chest. And you press on the chest. You can try this yourself. And you press for 5 seconds. And then you release your thumb and you count the number of seconds it takes for your thumbprint to go the same colour as your skin. It wants to be 2 seconds or under, and that means your blood's flowing through you okay. What you getting for that, Ross? Came back in 2, so okay, that's a good sign. Now, what they're doing as well is they'll check his main stats every 10 minutes, and we're looking for a change. Has his blood pressure gone down? Has his pulse rate gone up? Has his breathing rate gone up? Or with the interventions they're doing, is it getting better? His pulse is 110, that is high. Again, that's a sign of going into clinical shock and a sign of blood loss. There's Colin starting to expose the wound. We do cut clothes, so if you're wearing a brand new coat and you've got an upper arm injury, I'm afraid we will cut your coat. Or a brand new pair of trousers, we will cut your trousers. Because we need to see what's going on. Now again, you need to use your imagination with this. We've actually got a lot of blood, but there's also, we can see a wee bit of white. So the bones actually come through the skin. And it's called an open fracture. And one of the main issues with that is getting infection in. Okay. Ross at the moment is writing down all the stats. And he's also asking Tom questions like, where's the pain? If the pain, if 10 is the worst ever pain you've had, what score is it? Okay. Things like, when did he last eat or drink? Because if he needs an operation, the hospital needs to know that. Is he on any medication? What actually happened? One thing I forgot to mention at the start, if this was a wet day, we've got big shelters we would put over them before they even start. It's actually quite nice to have. It's not too bad, but that would be on hand as well, just in case. Because Tom could have been lying there for an hour and a half, getting very cold, which again is not good. Have we made an initial assessment, guys?
Has he died? Is he dead? Or is one of them? He's left. Move it. Open the back.
Okay, so at this point they have made the assessment now. While all this is happening, team members will be arriving from elsewhere. For example, if this happened over near Newton Stewart, I stay in Castle Douglas, so it's going to take me an hour to get there, whereas somebody in Newton Stewart might be there quite quickly. So during an incident, team members arrive at all different times. Okay, so what they're asking for is we need to get this person off the hill really quickly. His pulse rate's too high, breathing rate's too high. We're doing an intervention, we're getting the wound covered, and Ross is now asking him to take pain relief. Ladies, you might recognise this. It's Gasinair that you might have used when you had your lovely children. It's the same drug. He's going to have a baby, absolutely, yeah. Meanwhile, the rest of the team are starting to arrive, and they're going to bring a stretcher, a splint for his leg, a vacuum matches what they're here already. I thought they were still at the vehicle. And I'll just talk you through what's happening. You can see our stretcher splits in 2, so it can be carried in the back of 2 rucksacks. Easy to get up the hill. So I'm just going to ask Ross what Tom's pain score is. Okay, so out of 10, Tom's saying this is the worst pain he's ever had. This is an 8 out of 10. That is severe. Now we do basic training, but we also have got advanced first aid training as well, where we have to go away to Scottish Mountain Rescue for that. And there's 5 of us in the team at the moment are allowed to give pain relief drugs. So it helps the care of the casualty, helps improve their situation. So Ross is assessing a pain score of 8. We can give a morphine-based drug, which will certainly help reduce Tom's pain. Okay, so Tom has agreed, because the casualty needs to, we can't just give people drugs, we also need to check, are they allergic to the drug? Things like that, we need to check the dose. So Ross is going to give Tom a drug that's far better than fentanyl. Fentanyl it's called, and it's like a wee lollipop, and the casualty sticks it in the mouth, and the drug gets absorbed in through their gums. If the casualty goes unconscious, we need to remove it. It can only be done by the casualty themselves. Now in real life it takes 10 to 15 minutes on giving that drug until we can actually start to move that leg. Colin's very carefully dressed the open wound, but we haven't tried to manipulate the leg at all because it's really sore. Has anybody broken a bone at all? I have, and nobody got near it till I went to hospital. They weren't going to touch it. It's so sore. So we need to be very aware of that. So if you can pretend that 10, 15 minutes has passed by and the drug is taking effect, Tom's pain score might have gone down to something like 5. Now by splinting the leg, we're securing that bone, because the bones, when they're broken apart, the ends can rub together. Imagine how sore that is. We're also reducing the blood flow as well from the open wound by trying to get the leg as straight as we can. And it does reduce the pain as well. But his breathing rate's still high, his pulse is still high. This is becoming a time critical incident. Depending where we were, we might ask for Rescue 199 to come in. Is the helicopter based in your area? If we've got a long carry out, then we would definitely be asking for that. Because there's certainly not enough of us here to carry over rough ground. Even Tom's not a particularly large person, that even trying to carry somebody at Tom's weight any considerable distance would be really tricky. Okay. Now I might need to give the guys a wee hand here. Short staff today.
Right. So this type of sleeping, it looks like a sleeping bag, doesn't it? They're getting Tom onto, or you know, sometimes you go and stay in somebody else's house and your legs are hanging off the end of the bed. Well, this could have happened here because he's quite a tall lad. So they're wrapping him up, and this wrapping up is for.
This is a vacuum mattress, quite a cool piece of kit. It's basically soft and it's filled full of polystyrene balls, and we're going to suck the air out of it, and it goes really hard and it molds itself around the casualty. You see his head's getting a wee bit of support there. We would definitely do this for a spinal injury. Unless we knew that Tom had actually rolled down a hill, we probably wouldn't do it for a broken leg like this. But we just thought you would like to see it. But any fall from height, which is your head height, we would suspect an injury of the upper spine. We don't want to make things worse, so we put them in this. And you'll see that Colin is going to suck the air out. When the exercise is over, we'll be back round in the car park and we'll leave the vacuum mattress up, and you'll actually see Tom's shape. You'll see his head shape, how large his backside is, because it makes a nice big shape in the mat as well, the curve of his back, and the bit behind his knees, it sort of contours round about him, keeps him really straight, and that wouldn't come off until he goes to hospital. Now, before I went to help, we were saying about maybe bringing the rescue helicopter in. We've just been told it's not available, it's away in a shout somewhere else. So we're going to have to take Tom down to the tarred road where the ambulance is. And our vehicles are off-road capable. So this is, the rear of this one is actually custom made to take this stretcher. So we can slide it in and then take Tom down the rough track to where the road ambulance would be to get into Dumfries.
Slide the stretcher from the block.
Okay. Good. Right, I'm just going to go and lend the guys a hand again.
So did you see the bicycle pump they were using there? They were blowing Tom up. Or the stretcher round about him. This is to hold him in place. Now we're making a wee bit of fun of some of this, but this could be a real life person who's been some family member or somebody you know that was lost up a hill. And these lads, volunteers, have come to help, and they've found this person. Will he survive? And they've got to be very careful with the body, and they're going to try and not drop him until we get. I'm not sure. Sometimes maybe they do.
A wee bit more.
A wee bit more. There we go. Is it? Can we drop him now?
Ready, down, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, they're going to gently drop him. Look, Tom, did they gently set you back down again? Was that okay? Yeah, they're communicating with the casualty all the time to make sure he's still with them. Or are they going to hold him up straight? Will you see this?
1, 2,
3. Oh, they're lifting. Look at that. Way, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. They've got their casualty. They've got him safely onto the stretcher. They're taking him over here. They've brought the ambulance up the hill. Oh no, sorry. They carried him down, didn't they? They carried him out, and they've got.